Doing Ronin Man here. We're here on the third day. We're here on the third day of the conference.
And it's a beautiful day here in Bangkok. Check it out.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
After a fantastic night up till 5 in the morning, we wake up early and look at it. Look at it. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, so we're just we had a great night last night. Oh man, we were laughing our asses off. Yeah, really fun fucking night. And part of it was just because we're free and everybody, I think there's a euphoria because everybody's kind of around like-minded guys, It's different watching a YouTube video and waking up and hanging out right away, and just fucking, talking shit and coming up with ideas and sharing things. It's a completely different thing, right? Hey guys, so we're just talking about how to live in a happy life, as a MGTOW, just a fucking carefree life. Something that will sound very familiar to you at the same time as you'll be like, well, fuck, I wish I was doing that right now, I was talking to Steven here, Steven MGTOW, and we're just kind of throwing around ideas. I wanted, you got an interesting way you live your life, How would you
I like to
tell me the story you just told me,
Well, it's just like our old adage goes. Well, I was considered MGTOW before I even knew I was MGTOW. So that adage holds true, and what I was talking with Ronin about was that men are stifled, they're put in a corner, they're told to stay in that box and do what they're told and not make any waves. But that's only because you made that choice to be there.
Tell me about your life. You're just telling me the way you work, what it's like to work where you work, how you live your life, your family, your nieces, how they treat you, how you want to be remembered when you pass away. Let's talk about that. Let's just walk around here and we'll look at the view around.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Beautiful Sunday morning.
Yeah, we're up on the roof, so there's a few satellite dishes up here.
So as I was saying, if you put yourself into those conditions, it's because you made that choice.
No, you were talking about yourself, man.
Yeah, but now I'm leading into that.
Okay.
So
he's got a great life. I want to hear it.
Yeah. So as I was telling the story to Ronin, man, and because several years ago, because I am of a certain age and I am full of wisdom, but a lot of women will tell you otherwise, and. So, as a youth, after I got divorced and that was a thing, I was like, I decided to go to college. I did that, got a useless degree, but it got me in the door of this one cubicle corporation, slave pit, I like to call it. And every day for about 5 years, it was misery in a freaking necktie, or noose, as some may say. So,
how long did you do the corporate job?
About 5 years.
Okay.
So, but as soon as I paid off my college debt, now mind you, college debt was a lot less money than it is today. So I was able to get out of that plantation very early. So I didn't have to take no underground railroad. But I did work hard and I did scrimp and got by with very little because I wanted to make that happen because it was my choice. I did not get ensnared by the trappings.
Oh, you didn't.
Life. No fancy car.
Basically, you didn't go on the rampage buying shit and spending money you didn't have.
Right.
So,
and then, while the internet was still young back then, I did some research at work, and I wanted to be in a place where there was absolutely no women working. So, I did my research, and I found a place. So I took 2 weeks off. And for vacation, and I went to work for this other company. And the very moment, because of where I worked, it was a very dirty, dungeon-looking place. But I was like, oh, there's so much opportunity here. This is beautiful, because it was at that time it was just a medium-sized warehouse, and it was nothing like the fancy cubicle pit that they had us in. But my face was smiling, and then as soon as I got onto one of their old electric power jacks, and I started riding, I was liberated. All the weight was off my shoulders, And the very next day, I called my company and said, you know what, I'm giving my 2 weeks. And I have never left that place. And I've only been, the only times I have left is when my bosses tell me, hey, you shouldn't be here, you're too sick. So I enjoy going there every day. So
I like it, man. I like it.
Yeah.
You know, when I was in high school, I worked in a job with all guys, you know? And
that was my choice, to work with
yeah.
men. So no longer did I have to walk on eggshells. I saw some people that didn't like me right away, and we had fights. I had three fights within the first week.
Yeah.
But we were men. We handled it as men, and we didn't rat each other out.
Yeah.
You know, so we can get fired.
So he works in a warehouse, right?
Yeah.
You know, and you make good money.
Yeah.
And it's fucking guys, and you don't have to fucking take any shit. You do,
Right.
you live exactly the way you want. You enjoy. You look forward to going to work, right?
Yes, I do.
You talk about your job all the time. You love your job.
Yes, I do.
You love your
I was
company.
like- and even when I started there, it was like one of the fights was actually a knife fight, but I didn't have no weaponry on me, and this guy came at me with a knife, and I told him, if you bring that up, I'm gonna take it away from you and stab you in 3 places, and he kind of backed off, and I was like, okay. And then after that, we became fast friends, and now he can't stop talking to me.
Right. But you could have, if you were a woman, you might have filed charges against him, and he might be a criminal and fired, and
Yeah.
you would have created a lot of trouble. But actually, you guys were just dealing with something, and obviously he was unhappy about something, and you worked through it, and now you guys are friends, and it all worked out. You know, I think a lot of guys end up in prison over stuff that's just normal guy stuff. You know.
Definitely.
You know, like I'm so glad I didn't get caught doing a lot of stuff I did as a kid, because nowadays they would have put me in prison, and it was just doing normal boy stuff, you know? It was just, you know, it wasn't anything special. It was just like, you know, he was pissed off at you. He had a knife. He probably fucking decided he was going to try to intimidate. Didn't work. You guys became friends.
Yes.
No big deal. Yeah. Totally.
But and that once again is because of the choices I make. I was like, well, definitely it was a massive cut in pay, but I wouldn't have it any other way. And then after a few years of working there, you know, getting my raises left and right, and now I'm living a super comfortable life. I have my own home, and I have all the trappings. I have a motorcycle. I have 2 cars. I'm coming to freaking Thailand. Okay? I was like, that's something I wouldn't have considered on my own, because I've always traveled with women. But now, since I've been awakened with the MGTOW knowledge, it was like, it's a beautiful thing. And to see the downtrodden faces of the males that come here with their women, I'm telling you, you don't bring sand to the beach. You don't. I was like, and do you see the look on their faces? And I look at them and I nod in agreement. I get it, brother, but there's no wiping the smile off my face.
Yeah.
This is fucking Thailand. And I am so glad that I just bought that plane ticket and came out here, and I met the most awesome group of men, and we have so much in common. Even though we come from every walk of life, we have every experience, and we're just getting along. And you know what? You would think this much alpha energy, testosterone, there would be conflict. No, it seems like there's a little perfect hierarchy here, and nobody's getting in their way. There's no pissing contest. We all respect each other. We work together. We have a good time, and if we have something to discuss, we just discuss it through like men. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing. I don't think a lot of people understand that. You know, like it's not bravado. It's like to us, it's a beautiful thing. Just being guys, you know, just being guys and fucking doing our thing, and not having to change for somebody else. You know, because there's a lot of, in any guy's like friendship or when you work together, you know, there's a lot of love too, you know. Everything is that, what I'm saying is like it's like a healthy meal, right? You go to a new country, there's all kinds of new kinds of food, you don't even know the vegetables, right? But it's healthy, right? You know, the girls might have a different color skin or whatever, but everything works, right?
And they're healthy too.
They got all the things that you need, right? You know, all the things that they need, right?
Yeah.
And they need what you got, right? It's like, it's just different, right? I think that's what is working with guys is, when you're working with all guys, it's a certain kind of fucking vibe, you know? It's like, it has everything you need. You don't need to add anything to it to be an absolutely perfect work environment, you know?
True.
Where you're just enjoying yourself and everybody's working hard and making money and
having a good time.
Yeah, having
There's
a
no
fucking
worries,
good time, yeah.
stress-free. And once
Yeah.
again, I know I'm repeating myself from yesterday. We had a nice little conversation over a lunch, but I can't say this enough. I was like, yes, there are males that I talk with, but they are not MGTOW. They might be male, they might be alpha, they might be married, they might be beta, they might be cucks, but I can't speak to them the same way I speak to my MGTOW brethren face to face. For years, I didn't know what that felt like, and now I can express myself.
We'll go through the socks here.
So yeah, I can express myself with people that understand our knowledge. And
Yeah, no, I know. You know, when I was in high school, right, a lot of guys in my hometown, the big job to have is a waiter. So my brother was a waiter, and it's a service job, right? No, but I didn't think it was so cool. I never liked it I never wanted to be a waiter. I never was a waiter, ever.
Okay.
No, I got a job. I was delivering newspapers when I was little, and I liked it because it would be rainy and sunny. It was a 7-day-a-week paper I had, you know? And I'd go out there, and I remember I got $40 a month when I was, you know, like, I think I was about elementary school, then junior high school, part of junior high school. And I loved it. You know, I had my own route, you know? And it was a tough thing to do because I remember I tried to give it to my friends and brothers, like, they had a hard time with it, but for me it was easy, you know.
yeah, and being that we come from the same state, I totally get it when it comes to the weather.
Yeah.
And the inclement weather that is typical of where we come from.
And you gotta have it on time. You gotta get the paper in the door, and you have to fold it and get it all done right. And the holidays and Christmas and every day needs a paper, right? So I had that job.
Oh, and don't forget the people trying to cheese on you with.
Yeah, you gotta collect money.
Payment. Yeah.
They gotta collect money
Next week, because I was a paper boy myself.
Oh, were you?
Years old,
Okay.
So I totally get it.
So then
That's why we vibe.
So then after that paper route, I got a job at the LA Times because now I was used to newspapers, right? It was still the time of newspapers, you know, and my friend's dad owned an LA Times distributorship thing. I forgot what it was called. It had a different name, but either way, he got me a job there. So I remember in junior high school, I would go to work at 3 a.m. on Sunday. We would set our alarm clocks, and he would come pick us up, and then we would go to work. We'd start putting papers together. We'd finish about maybe 7:30 in the morning. We'd be putting the ads in the paper, and it was just all men. And here I was in high school, at junior high school and high school, working at 3 a.m. That would be like a human rights violation now, because I was under 16, right? And you know, I'd be out working, and I loved it.
And the majority of those guys were old guys, married, with children. They were just working a second or third job doing this, and they had this sour look on their face, but they had to do it.
We had all types. I'll tell you, we had like there was a certain type, right?
There was all sorts of ethnicities as well.
Oh yeah, it was a real mix. Like we had the guys who were like downtrodden married guys, right? And we also had drug addicts, like full-on drug addicts, shooting speed. And this is back in the late 70s and 80s, right? So when they're shooting speed then, it was like hardcore shit, you know?
That's right.
And there was a homeless dude named Chemo. I remember he slept in his car. And he used to one time he was shaking one day, and somebody said, Chemo needs wine. And I didn't know anything about alcoholism, but they said, Chemo needs wine, he needs wine. He's like yelling, you know? And I guess he was shaking and going into tremens, right? So I gave like $3. You get a gallon of wine then for $3, right? Maybe $2, right? I don't remember. We went down to the store, we got it for him, and then we gave it to him. He drank it in like 60 seconds. It was gone because I heard the empty thing land in the garbage can. And then I said to my friend, I said, chemotherapy. And we laughed our asses off. And these guys that we work with, they had guns, they had knives. The one guy was shooting meth, like I said, and there was all kinds of guys. There's alcoholic guy. There was like a kind of a homeless woman who used to be a middle-class woman who kind of was hanging out with one of the homeless guys, and I don't know what her deal was exactly. She had a house from a divorce or something. She was fucking the homeless guy, basically, yeah. Right. And so we had this kind of like mix of people, and I loved it because I felt free there in high school. Like I used to come to school late because I'd be there putting papers together because I liked the vibe of a bunch of guys. It was just a bunch of men, and here I was in high school wanting to be a man, you know. And I fucking loved it. I remember that. It was like my favorite job, and I made good money, and I did it twice as fast as everybody else, so I could make twice as much money. Not quite twice, but maybe. But
you were efficient. And you were full of youthful exuberance.
I did double what everybody else did, because they give you like either 5,000 papers or 10,000 or 15 or 20. It's all set, right? And I would finish double as many as everybody else, and I would do it maybe in like 20% more time. So I just been just jamming away, and I felt really proud of myself that I could make that kind of money and do better, do double what everybody else did, you know? And they would usually wait for me and we go surfing or whatever, you know?
Sweet.
So yeah, it was super sweet. And I love that kind of manly fucking thing, that vibe, you know? I always missed that job. It was one of my favorite jobs. The only other job I had like that was when I worked in a sawmill in northern Sweden after I was going around the world. I ran out of money.
That must have been super.
Oh, dude, it was so good, man. Except for I got into chewing tobacco. That's the only thing.
Well,
it was hard to get off that.
Chew daddy.
Not easy to get off that after you get on it, you know? Yeah. So tell me,
when I was a jarhead, every time we ran across the dippers, we used to do that. Dippers, dip. They'd be like, okay. They'd be like squatting, of course.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can't see me do the motion, but it's like a mini squat.
Okay.
And we would just laugh and go, hoorah! So
what how does your family, you know, you obviously are very honest with yourself, you're honest with everybody else, honest with me. From the moment I met you, I'm like, this is a guy, you know, when you came up with the way you had your, like, he's got a bunch of blankets and shit tied up together, like,
yeah,
you know, like with a rope.
It makes the airplane ride so much comfortable, and this one was a long ride.
But I could just tell you're the kind of guy who just does not give a fuck what people think about the way his luggage looks, you know what I mean? Like, you're the kind of guy that if you only had a plastic bag, you'd travel in a plastic bag, and everybody else has got Louis Vuitton, right? Yeah. Because you don't give a fuck, but you got money, and you're doing well, and you're just like, I don't care. It's convenient. It works for me, you know.
I mean, look at the fun shirts I've been wearing. I was like, they're silly and they're goofy, and I like expressing myself through that.
Yeah.
And
can we show the shirt?
Oh, sure.
Okay, let's show the shirt here. We'll just make sure we get just the shirt here. Let's see if we can. We're gonna do it like this. Okay, knowledge. Schoolhouse Rock in Power. There we go.
For the people who remember what that is.
Oh yeah.
Go take your heart pills.
He doesn't. He's not too worried about what you think about his clothes.
But actually, in Thailand, all the cute little honeys, they giggle and they laugh because they know the references, and they're like 30 years removed from this reference.
Right?
So, yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah. Like when I was walking to the 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
By the way, there's one in every corner, so you'll never be homesick here.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, and there was a group waiting for their bus, and they looked and they smiled, and it was cute because they recognized the shirt.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
So
what I love about, you know, your attitude, and I love about this way of life, is that you're not bitter. You know, you're not like, no one's holding you back. You're doing what you want. You're just like, hey, this is the way I like to live my life. If you don't like it, that's totally fine. You know, but I'm just going to continue doing my thing, and my friends love me, right? You know?
Exactly. What else can I do?
Yeah.
If I try to appease everybody, I only make myself miserable. And then who wants that? We have one short life to live, and I choose to live it happy and stress-free.
Right. Wow.
Because I have the penis.
All right, guys. Well, that sounds pretty good. Let me see what we got here on the. See what we got for the messages. Thailand's a great place. Hey, everywhere is a great place, my friend. Everywhere is a great place. Let's see here. Go on here, Monk. You have quite a story to sell. Quit smoking. I love cigarettes. Oh yeah. I quit chewing, man. That wasn't easy, man.
Oh yeah, I had a few cigarettes last night. It was so refreshing.
Just comment on anything you see there, yeah. Ronin, yeah.
All right.
All right. Love it.
All right, full monk. That's a great place to be. There's no life because basically I'm monk, and it's been wonderful ever since. It's having no vag to run your life or make decisions for you, or having your Johnson thinking about that all the time.
Yeah,
it's liberating. Because everybody should be monk for a time.
Yeah, right.
But I get it, men. Especially younger men, if they need the punani, hey, have at it. Just don't marry it or get it pregnant.
Okay, let's see what else here. See if you see anything else you want to comment on here. We're just looking through the comments right now because we couldn't see them in the sun. I should get a Twitch account.
Of course.
Live shows. Too many live shows. Oh, okay.
Well, who wouldn't want to show this lovely land off?
Yeah.
We could do a live show from Ronin's bathroom and it'd still be nice. and you'd be spared, you know, a bunch of guys farting in a tight room.
Yeah, it's the weather here is hot and sunny every day. It's t-shirt.
Well, we rescued. I'm sorry.
It's t-shirt and shorts every day. There's only one little week where I usually use a sheet, like a blanket, or not a blanket, but like a sheet over me at night, because I sleep with the windows open and it's warm every night. But there's one season where I like to have a sheet on me because it's a little bit cool with the windows open and door open.
Yeah, the first night at your place, I was totally relaxed, and yeah, it was so cool. The breeze, it was a tropical breeze, and it was amazing.
Yeah, Stephen came and crashed on my floor, so he was in the middle of the conference the whole time. You got to see everything, yeah? And we got a lot more to do. So Darius is coming up at 11, so it's like less than an hour away, and we're gonna have Miggy's coming over. He's gonna do a good one. He's sleeping right now, but he's gonna hammer it out. He's like working on it right now. He was working on it this morning, so he's gonna hammer away. John, MGTOW is Freedom, had an emergency, and we were gonna try to get him for a quick call, but we don't know if he can really do it because he's got a little bit of a personal emergency, so he's attending to that. So we're hoping to get him on at some point. Talked to him this morning, and we will work on that and see if we can get as many guys as we can, because this is the last day. We want to squeeze it in.
Yeah.
If you know anybody really good, go ahead and email me, roninmgtow. We'll try to get him on, contact him, do all the work, get him ready, and then we'll throw him on something. We'll throw him on a stream. So
there you go.
Yeah, any good content you guys got, or you know somebody you really want to hear, just contact them, tell them about the event, and I'll send my Google Hangouts link, or he can send his link, and we'll go ahead and start a stream, right? We want to pack it in.
Yes.
It's not about controlling the message. It's about getting the message out, and as many different kinds of guys with different kinds of viewpoints, right?
And it all flows freely here.
Yeah. There's no three inches, you know?
Right.
Yeah. There's no 3 inches, just fucking controlling everything and taking everything over.
Speaking of 3 inches, yes, we did rescue Miggy from the Ladyboys, but almost soon thereafter, he almost got abducted by the Thought Patrol. It was up to all of us, especially Chris, to school them on what being an alpha male was all about. So we were able to rescue Miggy from that.
If you guys know, if you can get TFM on the show, that would be awesome. DDJ, sure. If you got a way to contact him, because we're packed here, so if you can get him, just tell him we'd love to have him on.
Hey, give a shout out to MGTOW Philosopher.
Yeah,
he's a funny guy. I enjoy him and his way of contributing.
I'd love to have him on. Love MGTOW Philosopher on. So anybody who wants to hammer it out, let me know, and we'll get him on. We're going to be going till, I don't know exactly what time today, but I mean, we're all hanging out no matter what today, so it's going to be another late night.
Fun. I'm looking forward to going to the Indian restaurant. Oh.
Yeah, we're going to go to Chinatown. We're going to go down to, they got some kick-ass Indian food, man.
We had some kick-ass Lebanese food. Oh,
yeah.
It was so fresh and juicy. Oh, fudge.
And it was $5, you know, something like that, right?
Less.
Crazy. Crazy. Nice homemade meal for nothing. So, yeah. MGTOW Money. Contact him if you know him and tell him we'd like to do a live stream. That's what I'm saying. Don't just tell us, because we're busy running around. So get him ready to go, and we will contact him. Tell him it's got to be now. It's got to be today. We'll throw him on a live stream, and we'll get his philosophy and ideas out. The topic can be a future of MGTOW, but really whatever they want to do, is fine.
And if anybody knows that mofo out there, SP motherfucking I, tell him to get on and contact us, because we want to hear his viewpoints on cryptocurrency and the MGTOW philosophy. Plus, of course, he's an SPI, self-prioritized individual, and we'd love to have him on too. It's just for a quick chat.
Hell yeah. And we love all your comments, everybody here commenting. When I get done, I'll go back and read them all. It's hard to read without my glasses on. But thanks, guys, and we're going to cut it off there, and we'll see you back on the next stream coming up soon. Say anything?
MGTOW!